Yo, everybody doing? King Dingbat is here, and today we got a special guest, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Lord Brunson. What is up, my man? How are you?
What's up? What's up, man? Thank you for having me, man. Dingbat Nation, stand up. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Listen, man. When I get with my brother 500, we gonna talk some good football, man. So it's a pleasure for me being here, man. How you been,
Yeah.
man?
I've been great. I can't complain. Things are going good at home, so I have no complaints there. Eagles,
Likewise.
Are driving me a little crazy. I'm not gonna lie, but
Absolutely.
I appreciate you being on here.
Oh yeah. Listen,
That's
man.
why
Anytime, bro. You already know.
Yeah, and I wanted to pick your brain because I wanted there's a lot of things that me and you see eye to eye on when it comes to the Eagles.
Mhm.
I think that we're pretty similar in a lot of ways. So I do want to get your opinion on some things that I'm not sure what you're thinking. So I thought it'd be interesting to bring you on. I appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
And to start this off, I'm going to ask the first question, and this is what I asked Fresh the other day. Let's go to the Carson Wentz trade.
Okay.
How do you feel about that trade itself, and what the Eagles got out of it? And do you believe in Hurts enough at this point? So it's kind of a long-winded question.
Listen. I've been answering this question all offseason. The thing about it is this, man. I feel like the Carson Wentz situation and what we got back was kind of a slap in the face, if you ask me. I feel like we did our best to devalue a franchise quarterback and then show the world how much we valued him, making our 2021 contingent upon his success. It's the wildest thing in the world. Like, basically what we did was, had a hand in saying how bad we thought he was. And when I say we, I'm talking about like Philadelphia sports media as a whole. They all took their stabs at him every week for clickbait purposes and stuff like that. And then we expected to get a first round pick back. Like it just makes no sense, man. So what we got back was a slap in the face. I'm not going to compare what we got back to what we gave up to get him because Carson Wentz did have a hand in the Super Bowl. And I think they shouldn't have gotten anything less than a second round pick for Carson Wentz. What they did, in my opinion, was make the Colts front runners over there in their conference. And as far as Jalen Hurts, yes, I believe in him. It's Hurts season. You see the hat? I believe in him. 500. I believe in him all the way, man. You know what I mean?
I love that.
That's what made it easy for me. What made it easy for me was saying that we got two quarterbacks that I think can get us to where we want to go. You know what I mean? So I didn't want Carson to leave. But I felt really good about what we had, after he left.
What do you feel about the compensation? Do you think we got enough for him? Because one of my big complaints was I didn't think we would get what we got for him, but to me it was almost still not enough. Like I really wish we could have had him one more year and let them compete, But I mean, it is what it is at this point,
Yeah, but as far as the compensation goes, I think I'm not going to say it was terrible. Because you do get a third round pick this year, but what's the difference between adding a player to get a second back? I just don't understand why we didn't put all our eggs in the basket and focus on at least getting a second back for this year. A lot of people are happy saying, well, next year that second round pick could turn into a first. Right. Why would we bet? Why would we bet on a guy that we basically forced out the door to do us some good? So in all, we think he's good enough to get us a first round pick next year. But we're going to trade him. It just don't make sense to me.
Yeah, I get it. But I mean, it is what it is, right? And it's about Hurts now. Now I don't know that he's a franchise quarterback. Like I don't know that you can give him the keys to the franchise yet. But I do think you got to give him the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like he deserves an opportunity to start this year, and we can see what he does. I figure if he's not good and we're going to have a pretty bad record, we'll get a quarterback. However, do you think it's possible that this team drafts a quarterback?
I think it's highly possible because our GM is just man. I think it's highly possible that we draft anywhere from in the first round a quarterback to a defensive lineman. Like two positions that we just don't need. I think it's very possible. We get infatuated as Eagles fans with, the guy that looks good, like the Jamar Chases and the Kyle Pitts. But we all know in actuality, in reality, that those picks really might not happen. I think the Philadelphia Eagles are absolutely 90% going to draft a quarterback within the first 2 rounds. I'm just praying that they don't do it.
Right. Yeah. I got a bad feeling that they could possibly do it. Now I've been doing these reaction videos. I took a look at Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
And I liked him a lot more than I thought, but I don't think he'll be there. But a guy like Trey Lance is a guy I could see Howie Roseman and his Eagles team falling in love with, dude. Like,
yeah, I agree. I agree. As far as the quarterbacks go, though, 500, I don't think there's no quarterback in the draft besides Trevor Lawrence that's better than Jalen Hurts. I just don't think it's a quarterback in the draft worth taking at this 6th pick based upon what Jalen Hurts showed me. Who's the dual threat out of this draft? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are not asking these questions.
Right.
Now, a lot of these guys are athletic, but what quarterback is going to come out of the draft next year and beat the number 1 ranked defense when they first start?
Yeah. No, I hear you.
I don't see nobody doing it.
No, I don't either. The only guy I would definitely probably go is Trevor Lawrence. If they could get him and they want him, I would be like, okay. But there's no chance of that happening. You know? Yeah. So to me, give Jalen Hurts a full year. See, I think the worst thing they could do would be to draft a quarterback. As soon as you draft a quarterback, you're saying to Hurts, we don't believe in you either. We don't believe in you either. And then you're doing the same thing you did to Carson. Because I think they wronged Carson. I just the way it is.
They did. They wronged Carson and they wronged us as fans and content creators because we're in a never-ending cycle of quarterback controversy. It never ended. It never went anywhere from Nick Foles winning the Super Bowl to today. We still been living in the same fantasy world of quarterback controversy, and it's just crazy at this point, man.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you. So hopefully they don't draft a quarterback. I mean, that's what I hope they don't.
Yeah, I'm praying. I'm hoping and praying on that as well.
That being said, who do you want at 6?
This is a tough one, man. This is a tough one because it's so tough because I see Kyle Pitts and I see a physical specimen. You know, when I think of physical specimens, I think about guys. This is the definition in my mind. I think about guys who are just so big and so fast that they do things that their body type shouldn't be allowed, like Megatron, a physical specimen, Kevin Durant, LeBron James. These guys just break the mold as far as stature and build goes, and I don't think there's going to be a tight end prospect like Kyle Pitts in the next 10 years. It's hard. It is very hard to find a guy that can run like that and move like that at that size. So I'm really leaning towards Kyle Pitts. Yeah. And on the defensive side, it's always been Micah Parsons for me, man. That's just a dog.
Yeah.
From the linebacker position.
Yeah. Let me get this super chat. Kelvin, man, thank you.
Kelvin, what up?
Man, shout out to Kelvin, man. Thank you for super chat. He says, LB of 500, my 2 favorite YouTubers. Thank you, buddy. Question.
Appreciate you.
Are the draft picks we have terrible because of Howie or a diamond in the rough that Doug could not or will not find? Both of y'all keep doing what you're doing, man. Thank you for super chat, buddy. Appreciate that so much.
Appreciate you.
My thing is, I think it's a little bit of both because before Doug came, we've seen Howie's record in drafting. It wasn't good before, Doug Peterson became head coach. But I also think when you look at Sidney Jones going to Jacksonville, you look at Rasul Douglas in Carolina, they go and they play better. So I think there's a little bit of both. And I do think that part of Nick Sirianni and why they hired him was because they believe he can develop players better, which is kind of Howie Roseman not taking responsibility for bad picks and putting it all on Doug. That's kind of how I see it,
I agree. I think it's more of a situation where we got to start questioning who's scouting these guys.
Right.
Because the year Arcega-Whiteside was drafted, after I saw DK Metcalf available when it was time for us to pick, I stopped looking at wide receivers because he was just a shoo-in to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like the eyeball test tells you that that's a guy you should grab if he's available. Yeah. Then we turn around and do the same thing with Justin Jefferson. I mean, there were reports that the scout team was advising guys to pick guys like Justin Jefferson if available, and DK Metcalf, and Howie just went on a tangent. So I kind of do feel like it's a little bit of Howie trying so hard to find a diamond in the rough when the obvious answer is right in your face.
I agree. I mean, look, dude, I say this to everybody. there's no reason why they shouldn't have took DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
Because some people say, well, it was injury concerns. Well, you were picking your second round pick. This was the chance you take a shot on a top 10 talent. We all knew he was top 10, 15 in the combine. We were all talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And on top of that, he was a physical specimen. It hurts more that that's the guy that knocked us out of our last playoff game, ultimately. We had no answer for him. You know what I mean?
He killed Slay. He killed Slay.
Yeah.
I mean, Slay's a good corner. Smart Broly, thank you for the super chat, man. He says, check out Tyree Gillespie. Dude is a stud, completely shut down Kyle Pitts. I'll check him out. Look, you can have guys shut somebody out or a guy have a bad game. It
can happen.
It happens. Kyle Pitts, to me, here's my whole thing with Kyle Pitts. I look at him 6'6", 240 pounds. If he runs a 4.5, somewhere around there, I think he's a wide receiver. I don't think he's just a tight end.
Yeah, and that benefits whoever gets him.
Yeah.
Because he's been playing tight end the last couple years in college. So he's used to blocking and holding the edge and stuff like that.
You can move him everywhere. And imagine if you get a guy like 6'6", 240 pounds, doesn't have to run a 4.3.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't. And then you have Rager on the opposite side, who is fast.
Right, and I can even put it in a little bit of a better context. He ran 10 yards in 1.5 seconds. He ran 10 yards in 1.5 seconds.
I know, that's ridiculous.
Right. Now think about it like this, 500. If you double that to 20 yards, you're thinking, okay, 3 seconds, right?
Right.
But then he turned around and ran 20 yards in 2.53 seconds, which means that he is getting faster as he's moving. I mean, physical specimen, man. You got Calvin Johnson did it in 2.53 seconds. That's a wide receiver. You know what I mean? I mean, numbers like that, man, you just can't, you can't dispute it. DK Metcalf had 2% body fat. The dude walks around with his shirt off for a living, physical specimen. How do you not pick him up?
I don't know. Then you take the guy who has his mom walking around camp with an umbrella. I can't figure it out. It pisses me off to no end.
One guy's ready to run through a brick wall every week, and the other guy is worried about if the UV rays are going to be on the football field. Yeah,
it's like Pee Wee Herman fighting Hulk Hogan in a wrestling match, and you choose Pee Wee Herman. That's exactly what it is. So I don't want to see them make that same mistake. I hope right now, for me, Pitts is my number one guy, but I got to see him run the 40. If he runs like a 4.6, 4.7, then maybe he is just a tight end. But right now he's my guy. And then I sent you the link to this linebacker, Jeremiah. Kimura. I forget his middle name. Dude, I think I like him better than Parsons. The guy plays everywhere.
There's some gems in his draft too. There are some gems in his draft. What's his name? Amari Rodgers. I just watched a video of him today. I think he did the bench press reps. I think he did 24 for a wide receiver. So he repped 225 pounds 24 times. Man, there's some strong guys out there right now, man.
There are.
And he can move.
There are some guys. I really want the Eagles to trade back into the first round. I want them to get that second, get a third. I know people don't like to give up those picks, but my thinking is make the sooner Howie picks, the better chance he has at not screwing it up. So get that second round pick, get a third round pick, and jump back into the first round, and then take a guy maybe that's fallen at 25, 26, 27, maybe a J.C. Horn or a linebacker. You need somebody like that. I would like to see them come out with 2 first-round type talents.
I would hope that they can pull something off like that, but the way it's looking right now, with Zach Ertz probably about to depart as well, you need to get you a guy that can sell you some jerseys. You need to get you a Jamar Chase or a Kyle Pitts. You got to get you a guy that's going to get the fan base back excited, especially with everything we went on. I think it's some generational talent that could still be left on the board at 6. I think you got to focus on grabbing one of those generational type of guys, man, who are going to make a mark for a long time.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think Penny Sewell, if he fell, you would have to take him. He's such a good lineman, but he's not falling past Cincinnati. It's not going to happen. The 3 guys that are going to be on the board are going to be Pitts, Chase, and Smith. And one of those guys has got to end up with the Eagles. I
think Parsons could be on the board at 6 too.
You think who?
I think Micah Parsons. Yeah, I think he could be on the board at 6'2".
I think he will be too. No question about it. It's going to be interesting. You know, I mean, I did a video on this yesterday, and I said a lot of people are writing the Eagles off, and I'm not saying we don't have problems and we're not the greatest team. No, I'm not saying all that, but I think that we're going to be a little more competitive than people think we are.
I think so. I think so too. I think that Jalen Hurts is going to bring a much needed competitive edge. You know what I mean? Right. I feel like something. I feel like I feel like he knows that he's not as respected as he should be. Right. And I feel like that with 16 starts at the end of next season, I'm telling you, he's gonna have some amazing stats. I can just feel it.
No, I hear you.
Starts.
He could. I like everything I've seen with him. No question about it. Philly Swag, thank you for the super chat, man. Appreciate that, buddy. Thank you. Shout out to you, man. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. What do you think about the new coach? What do you think about Sirianni and what they've done so far with him?
I like Nick Sirianni. I mean, you only really could be optimistic about a first-year head coach. I like Jonathan Gannon, the defensive coordinator. He was the defensive back coach for Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken. The year we knocked Minnesota out of the NFC Championship, they had the number 1 ranked defense as well. So he knows a thing about good corners, and that's something that we lack. So I think they picked some guys who are able to specialize in areas that we've been lacking in the last couple of years, like cornerback. Jonathan Gannon was a guru with cornerbacks. Sirianni, you know what I'm saying? He comes from an offense where they like to run the ball. So I'm really confident in that, man. I'm confident in the coaching staff. And actually, a hot take right now is I think we could win the division. I think a rookie head coach is going to win the NFC East.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's some advantages, right? Nobody has any tape on him, what he does. So if he could come out and start good, and then you got a team playing a fourth place schedule. Our schedule, I heard, was the easiest schedule in the league. So
I haven't looked at it yet. I haven't looked at it yet.
It's not that bad. It really is not that bad. And let me take this second. We have over 400 people here. I just want to say thank you, everybody. Please like, please subscribe. And if you haven't, and I don't know why you haven't, but if for some reason you haven't, click the link in the description and sub up my man, Lord Brunson.
Yes, sir. Greatly appreciate it. Yeah, shout out to y'all, man.
Yes, definitely sub them up. Winning the division is not a hot take at all. I believe it's Victor thinks it's very likely that we could win the division.
I agree. I'm only calling it a hot take because I know it just sounds crazy, being as though we're going to have a brand new head coach, a quarterback who's just going to be starting from training camp, possibly. You know what I mean? But I think we could do it as well.
I mean, I don't think it's impossible. I mean, I could see this thing going two different ways. I could see us struggling this year. I could see us being way better than people think. A lot of it's going to depend on Jalen Hurts and how well he is. And can guys like Brooks and Lane Johnson stay healthy? If those guys on that line can stay healthy, I think we'll be fine. Drewski, thank you for the super chat, man. He says Jamar Chase at 6. That is all. He loves Jamar Chase. Loves Jamar Chase. Let me ask you this question because I find it interesting. Who do you like more, Jamar Chase or Devonta Smith? This seems like a 50-50 split when you ask people.
It's so 50-50, but I lean more towards Devonta Smith. Devonta Smith, he can get Chad Johnson-like separation. You know what I mean? He could just separate. A lot of people like to knock on him a little bit is that he's a little small, but who cares? Deshaun Jackson was small. I think Devonta Smith is just a guy who can run every route in the route tree. He has no issues with durability. And he's actually put 2 good seasons together in a row. You know what I mean? I've seen more from him as well. So I like Devonta Smith. It's not always about the home run shot to me. Like, if you can get me a first down, you're just as valuable.
Yeah. No, I kind of like Devonta Smith, too, a little more. Yeah. He's 6'1", 178 pounds. So I look at 6'1" frame and say, if he does it right, he should be able to put 20 pounds on over the course of a few years and not lose much speed.
Absolutely. You know, they're going to make him bulk up.
Right. But he catches everything at the high point. He catches in traffic. He catches impossible. I like his game. Now, when I watch Jamar Chase, everything looks like he's just on another level. Like everything's effortless. Everything's easy. He doesn't struggle. So he could just be that good. I think the beauty for us is that Miami's going to take one of the two. So all we have to do is take one of those guys that's left on the board or Pitts. That's all they're going to have to do.
But I think the decision is a little more stickier than that though. So if Miami takes one of the two, I still factor Jalen Waddle in with the good receivers that's coming in this year. So to me, it comes down to one of the two, Pitts and Jalen Waddle. So it's like, what do you do there?
So you think Waddle's a top 10 guy too? Then
I do. I actually think Waddle was a top 10 guy. I do. You just can't deny. You just can't deny what he can do.
Oh yeah, he's so explosive, and I love those guys that are that fast.
Agree. I wouldn't be surprised if he went before Devonta Smith or Jamar Chase. I wouldn't be mad at that.
Interesting. That's interesting. Man of God, thank you for the super chat, my man. I appreciate that so much. Appreciate you, man. Man of God, he's probably been with you too for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to you, man. Philly Swag, man. Thank you for super chat. He says, we cannot afford to lose Waddle. Kid's a stud. See, I personally, I don't, and I thank you for super chats. Like, I don't think he's going to go top 6. I thought Waddle would be somewhere between like 12 and 15. So
yeah, the Giants, like somewhere around the Giants area, I think guys will start looking at him.
The only thing that concerns me with Waddle is his injuries. He gets hurt a lot. And I just don't want another guy that's always hurt, Yeah. I'm so tired of injuries.
This 6th pick has to be a guy that's ready to step on the field and contribute from day one.
Yeah.
We need difference makers this year.
Yeah, exactly. And here's the other thing that people think about too. Need to think about. What if the Eagles don't want to re-sign Goddard? Goddard is in the last year of his contract.
Yeah, that's something good to think about.
Maybe you just take Pitts and you move Goddard, trade him if you don't want him. I don't know that they would do that, but I'm just saying, he's in the last year of his contract. I don't know what kind of money he's going to want. Have no idea.
It's not. We're not going to be able to afford him. It's going to be an all-out bidding war for him.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
It's going to be a bidding war for him.
Yeah. So see, right now, Kyle Pitts. I'm just so fascinated with Pitts because
me too. I agree.
He's just a stud. Everything. I mean, everyone that I see talk about him is like he's the highest graded tight end we've ever seen.
Yeah, he's a beast. And I just don't feel like Howie is going to go wide receiver with the 6th pick because look how much he invested into it last year. I don't think he's ready to cut his losses yet before these guys can truly before these guys can develop and he really can see what he has at the position. This would be the first year that I think we've retained a wide receiver coach in a long time. You know what I mean? So give these guys some time with their coach again and a new quarterback. I think you might see something good out of these guys. I've been known to be a little hard on Jalen Reagor because I expected more from him. You know what I'm saying? But I do got to keep in mind that he was injured. So what if he steps up and is that guy? What if Travis Fulgham, who I believe is a number 1 wide receiver? I believe it. If he gets the targets, he's gonna do what he has to do. I believe that's the number 1 wide receiver as well. So Kyle Pitts just makes sense. He's going to do nothing but make those guys' job easier.
And Witch King of Agmar says Waddle is more agile and more game speed than Ruggs, and that's saying a lot because Ruggs was my guy last year, But the thing is when you look at football, you look at mismatches like who can cover Pitts. Corners are too small for him. Linebackers and safeties are too slow for him. I think he is going to be a monster. You realize he averaged 18 yards per catch? We're talking about a tight end.
That's ridiculous.
A tight end. It is. Dude, I want him so bad.
That's ridiculous. I mean, of course, guys are going to be bigger, stronger, and faster on the next level, but he's just a generational talent, man. And he caught some really bad balls in college, too. Like, he didn't get the best passes at all. You know what I mean? So I think Kyle Pitts, man, would prefer to play with Jalen Hurts. A lot of these guys are actually fans of Jalen Hurts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So get some of these guys around Jalen Hurts, man, and I think we can have a young, dynamic offense. I think right now we're on the cusp of possibly having an exciting offense, kind of like when Vic came on the scene and all of that. I think we could be that exciting.
Yeah.
With Miles Sanders, the wide recievers continuing to develop. And if you had Pitts, oh, my God.
Yeah, exactly. Brian Jones, thank you for the super sticker, my man. Appreciate that. Bryant Reed, man, thank you for the super sticker. Appreciate that. We got 460 people here. Please please subscribe if you're new to the channel, and definitely click the link in the description. Sub up my man, Lord Brunson, who is kind enough to be here. I got to put Joseph Vega on the screen because I get accused of ignoring him if I don't. 3500 LP, what's up? You two old timers. What's up?
What up,
Vega?
Joseph? What up, man?
Joseph tells me everybody I need to look at all the time. Like
I'm reading one of the comments. Rome Robertson said, "LB, what did he say? LB, you said we'd be bad for years after we traded Wentz. Find the video and I'll give you $100." Where I said that.
There you go. Well, I'm looking for it to highlight it, but I can't find it. I need to go. There you go. $100 if you can find it. There
Find
you go.
the video, I'll give you $100.
There you go. Chaos the Filthy. Thank you for the super chat, man. Appreciate it.
Oh my God, Chaos, what's up?
Yeah, Chaos the man. Wow, the number 1 and 2 Eagles content creators on YouTube. Keep up the good work, fellas. Encourage more Eagles fan to come out. It's our time. Go Birds. Thank you for super chat, my man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Appreciate that. And these are coming in crazy. Scarp 520. Thank you for the super chat. He says, should we trade down if there's a run on quarterbacks? Thank you for the super chat. I think what's going to happen is I think you're going to have 3 quarterbacks go in the top 3 because quarterbacks always rise in the draft. So you're going to have Lawrence go, Wilson's going to go, whether the Jets trade it or not. Then I think Atlanta is going to be looking at a quarterback, and somebody's going to want to come and jump them. And if I'm Miami and I could trade back a few spots and get extra picks, I would do it in a second. So I totally see it.
If I could trade back, it would have to be I can't go further than the Panthers. Are the Panthers like right behind us or like 2 picks behind us?
I think they're 7th.
Yeah. I can only go back for the Panthers, so the Panthers can get a quarterback, and I could possibly milk a 4th round out of that just for moving back 1 spot.
Mm-hmm. I'm at the point where I don't want to trade out of 6. I'm content with staying at 6 because I think that the way things are going to fall, one of those 3 guys that we talked about will be there. I want them to trade that 2nd round pick and a 3rd round pick. I'm thinking you have 2 3rd round picks now. You're going to trade Ertz. Let's say somehow you can get a 3rd or 4th for him. You're going to get the pick back and then come back in the 1st round and get another 1st round talent, because that's what I think this team needs is top end young talent to build around. Foundational.
I agree. I don't think Howie is going to do something like that though, because the way Howie is looking at it is, the more picks, the more guys we select with the picks that we have, that's the less amount of money he's going to have to pay out to get us out of this, salary cap situation. So, he's probably looking at like 1 less pick. That's 1 less rookie contract. But yeah, if they were to do something like that, man, and the more 1st round picks you got, that's every 1st round pick gets a 5th year option, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I think that's 2 guys that's eligible for a 5th year option. And Howie, this draft is Howie's worst nightmare. This is his worst nightmare.
That's my biggest fear about this team is Howie Roseman. He's the one thing that I'm like, okay, we can do this, and then I'm like, but shit, Howie's picking. That's what scares me. Right. Joseph Vega has a question for you. Lord Brunson, do you think Russell Wilson will be traded, and who do you think Philly will take in round 2? That's a tough question. Round two.
Yeah, that's a tough question. So Russell Wilson, I don't think he'll be traded. I think that would just be crazy for the Seattle Seahawks to do something like that. I mean, Russell Wilson is like a top 5 quarterback almost every year. As far as round 2 goes, I don't think so many players round 2. I can give you a position. I think that they'll go either quarterback or linebacker if they don't go quarterback in the 1st round. I think they'll go either quarterback or linebacker in round 2.
If they go quarterback in round 2, it's going to be just like Hurts is going to have to deal with the same thing Carson had to deal with.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I hope they go like linebacker or corner or something like that.
Listen, that linebacker that you showed me, I got Jeremiah. Dude, if he's there in the 2nd round, man, that's a steal.
That guy to me might be I might like him better than Parsons because he covers. He's covering slot receivers. I watched tape of him covering Devonta Smith. He is all over the place. But
that's a stud right there.
Yeah, I think he's mid to late 1st round. Philly Talk Podcast, shout out to you, man. Thank you for coming by.
Sir.
Thank you for
Philly Mike, what up,
man? Bajir, what's up, man? He says, Uncle El Bizzle and you, Uncle Philly 5. What's up, nephew?
Nephew, what's up?
What's going on? Concrete Green. I love that name. What's up, 500 and LB? I seen Pitts catch a bubble screen, and he had burst speed like a wideout first 5 yards. I know.
He's a beast, man.
Beast. Thank you for the super chat, Concrete Green.
I think Pitts can possibly be like a hybrid between Kelsey and Vernon Davis at his peak. I think he could be a hybrid between the two.
You might,
because he's more finesse. So he's not like Kittle. He's not like Darren Waller. He's not like those guys. He's just it's hard. It's like watching Floyd box. It's just like the sweet science. He's just like a painting, like poetry in motion.
I know. Maybe he's like he is a hybrid in a lot of ways. Like he's a hybrid receiver and tight end. Maybe there's the way, if you can use him right, maybe you can use him in a way that nobody else has used a player like that before. Something new, something that teams have to adjust to.
Teams aren't game planning for bubble screens from a tight end. They just aren't game planning for stuff like that, man. That's just crazy.
To me, I need to see his pro day. I mean, we're seeing the things that they're putting out there. I need to see the official pro day when he has it. What's that 40? If he runs a 4.5, I'm drafting him. And the thing I worry about is that if he runs something like a 4.5, he goes 3. Miami takes him. Why wait?
Yeah. I don't think so. I don't think Miami's going to take him. Miami, I think they're kind of content at their tight end situation right now. I don't care. I don't care what he runs. If he runs the fastest time out of all tight ends, I'm taking him. So I don't know what that number is. If he's the fastest tight end in the draft, I'm taking him. Because I've seen the game speed. Sometimes, what you run at the combine and your game speed can kind of, be misconstrued. I saw the game speed.
He looks like a receiver the way he runs.
Yeah.
The way he runs, he looks like a receiver. Like I said, you're averaging 18 yards a catch, something ridiculous as a tight end. You're doing something right. You're able to get downfield. So I don't think it's going to be a problem at all. I definitely think he's a stud. He's my guy. I don't know.
So as of today, that's your guy right now. As of today,
right now, I'm taking Pitts at 6, and then if I don't take Pitts, I'm taking Smith.
That makes sense. I flip flop between Penny Sewell and Pitts at 6. Yeah. But the thing that took me away from Penny Sewell though was we're getting a bunch of guys back. I don't want to stunt the development of Jordan Mailata, who is looking more and more like a beast the more he plays. So, I think we could kind of go without the left tackle if we get everybody healthy and keep them healthy. But, man, this is going to be a wild draft. And I know you're going to be live streaming it.
Oh, I'll be live. So, as a matter of fact, you can come on if you want with me. We tried to do that last year.
We tried, so we failed miserably.
Yeah, you're more than welcome I'll have an open seat for you if you decide. But,
I'm definitely going to let you know.
But I'll be streaming. But, yeah, I mean, if Penny Sewell fell to the Eagles at 6, he's the only guy that I may take over Pitts, because from everything that I read about him, he's a guy that you put in day one and he plays for 10 years, and that's what you're getting out of him. So, but I don't think Cincinnati is going to let him go. They got Burrow, who gets hurt, and they need to beef up that offensive line.
I'm worried about Cincinnati because Cincinnati, they're looking for their next AJ Green as well. So I'm really interested to see what they do, because they could either go wide receiver or they could go, lineman, like you said.
Yeah, they could. I mean, they could. I'm guessing they're not going to let Sewell go, but we'll see. G Code says I'm not sold on Pitts. What do you need to see? What do you want him to do?
Right.
I don't know what else he can do. I mean, the guy's beast, man.
I will say this. The stats were a little underwhelming, though.
Right.
The stats were a little underwhelming.
Like 40 catches, something like that, right?
Yeah, like 700 yards. The stats were a little underwhelming, but at the same time, just what he brings to the table. I mean, he played with Kyle Trask. Isn't that the kid's name?
Yeah, Trask. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think he was that good of a quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, what I've seen of Trask, I haven't watched a lot of him. He looks like Carson Wentz to me, to be honest with you.
You think so?
That's who he reminds me of. Yeah, but I don't know how good Trask is going to be either. I don't. Go ahead. What's that?
The chat is saying that Pitts only played 8 games. Wow.
He only played 8 games last year. Okay.
I didn't know that. So those are good stats for 8 games.
So what was his? Somebody put his statistics up for last year, and I'll highlight it. 8 games. He played 8. Why did he miss games?
That's a good question as well.
Did they only play 8 games, or was it like that's what I'd like to know. Yo, what's up, Philly 500 LB? What's up, Staff? How are you doing?
What's going on,
buddy?
Staff?
So he had 779 yards catching. He played 8 games. So I need to see his statistics. He had a concussion.
779 yards. Oh, he had a concussion. That's not good.
That's not good. You have to worry. I don't know how many touchdowns he had. Let me see if somebody put his statistics in there. I'll highlight it. I haven't seen it yet. But if he played only 7 or 8 games, is what it said, he had 12 touchdowns last year.
12? Oh, that's crazy.
12 touchdowns, 740 something yards, and 8 games? How many catches? Like 40 something, right? Yeah, well, that's beastly, man.
Yeah, that's beast. That's beast-like,
man.
That's beast-like.
That's 779 yards and 12 touchdowns. Jeez, how many receptions? That's crazy.
Somewhere around 40.
400. Oh so yeah, he averaged that's like 18 yards a catch.
Yeah, he's a beast. He's a beast, man. I'm on board with it.
Yeah,
I'm on board with it, man. People said I was crazy because I said this like before everybody was paying attention to prospects. I was like, dude, that's a 6th round pick if he there.
Yeah. 400 people in here. Only 190 thumbs up. Come on, man. Let's get them. Thank you, Don Lewis. Appreciate that. Everybody, please hit that like, subscribe, and then hit the link in the description if you haven't. Sub up my man LB.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Get them thumbs up expeditiously.
Yeah. Jeez. 43 receptions, 12 touchdowns, 700 something yards. That is crazy. Yeah, he's averaging 1.5 touchdowns a game. I don't know, man. I gotta take
if the wide receivers, if you are sure that the wide receivers can continue to develop, if you feel good about your wide receivers, you feel that strong enough, go grab that tight end. If you grab that tight end and those dudes can grow together, these are all 1st and 2nd year players. You could be looking potentially at the offensive version of what the Legion of Boom was. You know what I mean? You could really be looking at a group of guys who came in together and just going to play for each other and play hard for a new coach. Man, this team could be dangerous depending on who you pick with this 6th pick.
Yeah, that's crazy. Philly 52, thank you for super chat. He says, who's getting the red zone touchdowns? Pitts, Chase, or Smith? Pitts. Pitts is a red zone threat like nobody else.
He's a red zone threat, but my second guy would be Smith.
Yeah.
The separation, just for him to be able to run a quick slant at will like that, he's going to thrive.
And he goes up to the high point and catches the ball at the high point. He can go up between 2 guys, That's what I like about him. Gene Corden, thank you for super chat. He says, 500 LB. You all to keep it 100 all the time. I can't wait until I get my channel up and running so we could chop it up. Chase Smith, love both Pound Go Birds, man. Thank you for super chat.
Let's go, man. Get your channel up, man.
Let us know when your channel's up. We're ready to go. We're here. We are here. I wanted to see one thing. Oh, wait. Let me go back. There was I saw a statistic I wanted to highlight, but I can see if I can find it. It had it said Pitts. Well, I can't find it now. These things go too quick for me. But it said Pitts averaged 17.9 yards a catch. That's ridiculous.
Here
it is,
man.
Right here.
That's like what Deshaun Jackson was doing in his prime.
Yeah, 43 receptions. He had 12 touchdowns, 770 yards, and 17.9 average. I mean, that is not those are not tight end numbers, man.
Those aren't tight end numbers. We would have got that production out of a wide receiver.
Yeah.
That would have been, we probably would have won a division last year.
Absolutely. I'll tell you another guy that I think we shouldn't sleep on. I think doesn't get a lot of I don't think the Eagles really gave him a fair shake is Quez Watkins. I think Quez Watkins is a player. I like him better than Hightower.
Quez Watkins is a beast. Quez Watkins just has instincts that you can't teach.
Yeah.
He just, I think, I don't know if he's a total package yet, but in terms of guys like, who's a good gadget guy that played in in the NFL for a number of years at the wide receiver position. I can't remember this dude's name. I'm so terrible with names. But like a gadget wide receiver who can punt return and do everything. I mean, he's one of those guys, man. Yeah. He's one of those guys.
Absolutely. I agree. I think Quez is a player, man. He took that bubble screen. It was against Arizona. Oh, that little pass and went for a touchdown. I was like, where was this all year? Why were you not using this guy? That's the one thing about Doug. He does not develop players. He does not use guys to their strength. Why would Jalen Reagor, in my opinion, he gets one opportunity, like only a couple opportunities all year at punt return, returns one of them for a touchdown, and then you don't use them at all. You put
I think he had trouble fielding punts at one point, though. The one that he returned, he actually dropped.
He dropped
picked it up and was able to, use his athleticism. But I think he dropped another one. Well, he didn't drop another one. I think he called the fair catch when he should have just caught the ball, and the ball ended up bouncing, and we had to start like at the 2. So I think they pulled him from back there. But just to go in a little further to what you were saying, I think it's really Howie Roseman not activating certain guys when you should. Right. You know what I mean? Like when Nathan Gary was having a hard time, it shouldn't it shouldn't have come down to that. Give a guy some help. Give a guy some help. Howie Roseman not activating certain guys and Jim Schwartz not adjusting his system and his scheme, was a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. Eagles Body Bag 18 says, thank you for super chat. He says, I see Jerry Rice and Terrell Owens and Devonta Smith. I mean, that's a great thing to say. That's a high compliment. I like Devonta Smith. He just got to get a little bigger. But thank you for super chat, man. And when I say bigger, I think 20 pounds over 2-3 years. I think he's fine. System of the Knot says, who picks 4 and 5? Atlanta picks 4, and then Cincinnati's picking 5.
Atlanta's going to go quarterback for sure.
Yeah. So James Williams says, draft the tight end. Dallas Goedert isn't the guy, the heir apparent. I love Eagles draft, laughing my ass off. Oh, my hip. He's enjoying it. Yeah, I mean, Dallas Goedert isn't this guy. No, I mean, I like Dallas Goedert.
I do too.
And I'm looking at keeping both of them because I see what's his face? Kyle Pitts. I see him as possibly a guy that could play wide receiver. That's why I have to whatchamacallit. I have to see what he can do in his pro day.
I agree. I want to see his whole combine.
Yeah, exactly. His is going to be the most interesting to me. Gene Corden, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, Pitts reminds me of Aaron Hernandez, to be honest. Imagine Pitts and Goddard on the field at the same time. Unfair for defenses. It is unfair for defenses.
And people forget how good Aaron Hernandez was.
Yeah.
He was actually pretty decent.
Yeah, he was good. He was crazy, but he was good.
Yeah.
But he was good, Let me see some more of these questions here. AJ Green joins the Eagles. I don't want AJ Green.
He's too old.
I'm done with the old guys. We need to get younger. Because look, I mean, we didn't talk about free agency at all, but if you look at free agency this year, I don't think the Eagles are big players. I don't think we're going to have a lot of money. You know what I mean?
No, we're not. That's why we're trying to get Brandon Graham to restructure so we can probably pull in. Well, we do have one advantage. One advantage that we might have is Nick Sirianni, being close with guys he just coached in Indianapolis. So maybe we can, get some of those guys to come over for like a 1 or 2 year deal.
Yeah. Concrete Green, thank you for a super chat. He says, listen, it's no need to go wide receiver. We got to let the guys we got pan out. The same with our linebackers we drafted last year.
I agree.
Here's my thought on it. My thought on it is this. I feel like choosing or drafting by position is a luxury. If you're close to winning and you need that linebacker or you need that one player, okay, take a shot. But when you're where the Eagles are and they're kind of rebuilding and trying to turn over the roster, I don't think you can skip on talent. So if I say this receiver is better than this defensive end or this linebacker, I got to go with the guy who's better. Because I can't afford to not have that talent. Because it's not about next year,
And nobody from our wide receiver room actually showed us that they were ready to be the number one guy. Right. The only person that showed me that, Travis Fulgham did, but then we stopped throwing him the ball, I don't know, to appease Alshon Jeffrey or whatever. But he's the only one that showed me that it can be done. Yeah. And everybody else were rookies. So,
Yeah. And thank you for the super chat, Concrete Green. And DH Eagles wants to say, I watch you all to the most. Salute and shout out to you both, man. Shout out to you too, DH
Shout out
Eagle.
to you, DH Eagle. That's my guy right there.
Yeah, he's great guy. But yeah, I agree. No, I mean, the Fulgham thing was weird because he looked like a total like steal, and then he just disappeared. And it was as soon as Alshon came back, they started to giving him less reps,
which was sad. That's a Howie Roseman thing. Go with the hot hand. You know what I'm saying? This is the NFL, man. Dudes take over all the time in the NFL. It's supposed to be next man up. Right. If the New England Patriots operated the way we operate, then we would have never heard of a Tom Brady. As soon as Bledsoe would have got back healthy, they would have put Tom Brady back on the bench and went with Bledsoe. Sometimes a dude getting injured is just a secret blessing for the next man who's been waiting for the opportunity. You know what I mean? You knew you were getting rid of Alshon anyway. Why not give Fulgham as many reps as possible? I'll never understand it.
That's why I don't like the GM controlling the roster and the final cuts, because they do everything from what we're paying a guy on the field perspective, instead of a coach perspective. That is, this guy is playing better. You know,
exactly.
That's the one thing that gets me. You know, 500. You got Mod going crazy. Who's going crazy? Tell me about it, and I'll deal with it later. I hope nobody's timing anybody out. You know what? I don't like that. Why did King Cole get timed out? Let me go look at the message. 500 LB. Did you all get a chance to check out Xavier Collins from Tulsa? Why would you time him out for that? It has to be a mistake. Let me see. Yeah, dude, you're going crazy on this. I gotta take the model from you, my man. I can't. Sometimes my mods, I hold them back so much that they want to pounce on people, man. But I can't have that. I can't have people being timed out for stupid shit. So I'll deal with it. I'm sorry, you guys who got timed out for that. I hope it was an accident. I really do. Because
the mods got to use those wrenches responsibly.
They do. I don't want people to get timed out for stupid shit. Man of God, thank you for super chat, man. Appreciate it. He says, just a pipe dream, but what if we get Chase with the 6th pick? Then do what Philly 500 said, trade back into the first round and get Pitts as well. You'd have to get up to like top 10 to get Pitts, you know?
You'd have to trade your second and next year's first. You'd have to be crazy to get back up there.
Yeah, I mean it would be amazing, but I don't think that's going to happen. But I do like the idea of trading. I do like the idea of trading back
into the first round.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. Let's say you get like a corner like J.C. Horn starts falling 26, 27. You got a low second round pick. You got the 6th pick in the second round. So even if you don't go back in first, maybe you get the first pick in the second round. But I think with 2 third-round picks, whatever you're going to probably get for Ertz, I think you do it.
I think we're in prime position to trade back in, like you said, because we got that high second round pick.
Yeah, it's not going to cost us an arm and a leg.
What is it, like 42? Something like that, like 44?
It might be something like that. I think it's 37 actually. I think
it's going to be a lot of talent left on the board with our second round pick. We cannot screw this up. Yeah,
no, I agree. Totally agree. But we are dealing with Howie Roseman, and he's known to screw it up. You know, you could have DK Metcalf on the board. We're all going, there's your pick. I mean, if I would have said before that pick to you, hey, yo, Lord Brunson, the Eagles are going to take a wide receiver here. You would have thought it's DK Metcalf.
Yeah, I did. I would have thought it was. I would have thought it was DK Metcalf. I mean, Arcega-Whiteside, like, why? Where do you even look that up? With DK Metcalf is on the board, why do you even do that?
Their excuse was his production. Well, I mean, you know, I don't know what you're seeing, but when I look at DK Metcalf, you know,
superstar written all over him.
He did, and it wasn't a risk to take him because you were picking your second round pick. You had 2 second-round picks at that point, so there was no risk to take him. You know.
And fast forward, we're talking about a guy who might not even make the roster next year.
Yeah, I know. I would cut him so fast, you know. I would get rid of. I cannot stand Arcega-Whiteside. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I don't like his game. Concrete Green, man. Welcome to Dingbat Nation, my man. Thank you for joining. Let me give you a wrench. There you go, my man. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, buddy. But yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. So we got 491 people in here. Please please subscribe if you're new to the channel. And make sure you click the link in the description and sub up my man LB. One of the best content creators, not just Eagle content creators, but in all YouTube. So make sure you sub them up. You won't be disappointed.
I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you. Me and LB, I like listening to your stuff because, like, I'll listen to you and I'm like, me and him are on a lot of times. I feel like we're in sync.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I honestly disagreed with something that you said, and a lot of the stuff makes sense. Well, I think it was you actually wanted Zach Ertz gone right after 2018.
Yeah,
you actually wanted him to go. I'm like, what is he talking about? Keep Zach at all costs.
I was talking about trade him now because I thought like, okay, you have this young guy Goddard, and I was looking at the cap and I'm going, let's get a high pick for him, But yeah, I did. I wanted him. I took a lot of heat over that one. I took a lot of heat for that. That was probably the second most heat I ever got from saying something. You know how you say something. The biggest one was Derek Barnett pick. I flipped out. I was not happy about that pick.
You don't think so?
I didn't.
I wasn't happy about Andre Dillard, but I understood it. It was a position of concern. I wasn't happy about it though. That turns out to be a wasted pick.
Yeah. What do you think? Speaking of Dillard, what do you think they're going to do with him?
I think they're going to keep him. He's still in a rookie deal. They're going to use him as a rotational guy. I don't know, man. I think it's going to be that's the competition that needs to happen between Jordan Mailata and him this offseason. That's the one true competition that I can see that needs to happen. If Jordan Mailata comes close to him, then I think he's going to lose his job at some point.
Yeah, I think I was thinking maybe you get Dillard and move him into left guard.
Yeah, maybe if he's willing to learn.
Yeah, and then you keep Mailata at left tackle. And then if you get a healthy Brooks and Lane Johnson, which scares me, they said Lane had a reconstructive ankle surgery. I'd never even heard of that. Like, the health worries me on him and Brooks. But if those guys stay healthy, I think this offensive line is going to be better than people think.
I think so too. I think it's going to be vastly underrated. And we got a new head coach now that is going to hopefully give Miles Sanders 25 carries at some point in his life. You know what I mean?
I want to talk to you about the running game before we get. We'll do about 10 more minutes. You do about 10 more minutes, LB? Mm-hmm. And then we'll call it. G Code says 500. Nelly was better than JJ Arcega-Whiteside.
Facts.
That's the problem with him. He was more talented. He could do more, but he was dropping passes. I can't get that Atlanta game on Monday Night Football, prime time. Carson Wentz a chance to turn things around, and it goes right through his hands. I think the thing that happens with Nelson Aguilar is that when he's going through a rut or a rough patch, he gets stuck there way too long because everybody drops the ball. Right. I think his rough patch and just the media, the way they dog players out here, you know what I mean? I think it just lasts a little too long for guys like that. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree, but I think the thing with Nelson is he's just all mental. Like when something goes bad in his head, he can't let things go, And so I even though he had a good year with the Raiders, I always keep thinking he's a ticking time bomb before something happens, and he's back to what we know, But I do want to talk to you about the running game real quick because we both love Miles Sanders. We think Miles is a stud. They didn't use Miles Sanders enough last year, right? But when you go to after Miles, really the second back was Boston Scott. Uh-huh. I see Boston Scott more as like a third back, a scat back, more of like a Darren Sproles type guy. That's how he should be used.
Exactly.
So would you consider if a guy like Najee Harris fell into like late first, early second, taking a guy like that?
No, he not. I like Najee Harris, but he got to fall to a third, which I think can happen. I think he could fall to a third. I can't get him that early. I can't jump back into the first for Najee Harris. I can't do it because you could always find because we're looking for a complementary back. We're not looking for a running back one. We're looking for somebody that can just complement Miles Sanders well, and I think you're going to be able to find that in free agency.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely find a compliment. They need a bigger physical back, a guy that can get short yardage, use those chains. I'm in love with Najee Harris. He's one of those guys. I have guys every year that I just like absolutely fall in love with. Kyle Pitts, Najee Harris, that linebacker from Notre Dame I showed you.
And speaking of the guys that I'm falling in love with, I'm going to send you my first submission for the draft board. You're going to like this guy.
Let's get that start. Let's do that. Yeah,
you're going to like this guy.
Oh, I can't wait. Let's start that and send me the video, and then on my next video I'll start putting it up.
I got you. I'll try to get it to you tonight.
Okay. Yeah, I'll probably do. I'll have a video up tomorrow. I'm actually going to Vegas tomorrow night, so I'm gonna be there for a short weekend. So I have some like my reaction videos I have for Saturday to put out, but I'll do a video tomorrow. So send me one.
I got you.
My sister's getting married, so.
Oh man, yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. They were supposed to be a big wedding, but because of the pandemic, they're not doing big weddings. So it's going to be small, but, I'm going to go there for a quick weekend. System Nas says, remember Nelly sat out one season because he wasn't mentally ready. I don't remember if he sat out. Did he sit out for a whole season?
No, I don't think he sat out for a whole seain.
I don't remember that, but yeah, I love Najee Harris. I would trade back up to the first round to get him. I would. But it would be tough because I think he's a stud running back. So how do you keep him and Miles happy? That would be the whole thing.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to bring anybody in there who wants to be in Miles Sanders' position. I just want somebody that can perfectly complement Miles Sanders. I think a guy like, who comes off the top of my head, if they were a free agent, maybe Alfred Morris. He's a little old, though. You just need a guy for 1 year. You know what I mean? I would love Adrian Peterson. I would love to have AP back there to compliment Miles Sanders.
He still can play.
Yeah.
The guy still can play. Mateus says, trade Jalen Hurts with Ertz to New England. Get Mac Jones with the 6th pick and take Jamar Chase with the 5th pick or the 6th pick. He says, get Mac Jones with the 6th. Now, with the 15th, take Jamar Chase. First of all, I don't like Mac Jones. I'm not a Mac Jones guy. So I don't want him in the first round. I don't want him in the second round or third round. And 15, Jamar Chase will never make it to 15. So we can't do that. Speaking of guys that you fell in love with, hey, LB, what do you think Carson and Michael Pitts will do together?
Hey,
Carson,
shout out to
my man.
Right, shout out to you, Philly and Oz, because this is how I know he really watches either you or me, because Michael Pitts was on the draft board last year. I think Carson Wentz and Michael Pitts are going to kill it over there. Right. Michael Pitts was on the draft board last year.
Yeah, you loved Pitts.
Love Michael Pitts, man. And I think he showed up in the playoffs last year, too. I think he had 91 receiving yards in the playoffs. I think him and Carson are going to be a dynamic duo.
Yeah, although he didn't give Carson that number.
He shouldn't. Carson got to earn his keep over there.
That's the one thing, I wonder about Carson. Like, I hope we can figure out what really happened, because part of me, I wouldn't have traded him, but I also feel like, did he quit on us? Did he check out? Was he afraid to fight for his position? Because I have a problem with that, I
don't think so. I don't think that was the case. No? I think it was more of, him feeling disrespected that he should have to fight for a position. He only technically had one bad, questionable year. You know what I mean? The organization did him so wrong in ways that you just don't do somebody after you pay him and give him your word. You know what I'm saying? Why are you drafting Jalen Hurts after I went through hell to get you to the playoffs, get knocked out by a dirty hit? Why are you drafting a quarterback in the second round? Then asking me to compete with him. You know what I mean? So, I think he did the right thing by standing firm and saying he want to bounce.
Yeah, I hear you. Dilly Philly, thank you for super chat. He says, what's up, LB and Philly 500? Late, but made the chat. Well, I appreciate it.
What is up, bro?
And if you haven't, anybody haven't, click the link in the description and sub up my man, LB. You will not be disappointed at all. But yeah, man, it's crazy. It's going to be a crazy all season. Think about it. We haven't even gone through free agency yet. Like, everything has happened. Free agency hasn't even started yet. And then, we got the draft. I'm more excited about the draft, I'm not going to lie, than free agency, because I think we're going to be quiet free agency. But I do want to see what are they going to do with Ertz. Where is he going to end up? Because I think he's getting traded. I think Derek Barnett could get traded.
Yeah, I think it's much more to come. Much more to come, man. We just got to stay tuned and see what's going to happen, man. But this draft has to be at least 80%. We have to hit with 80% accuracy on this draft.
Yeah.
Your first 3 picks, man. Your first 4 picks, because you don't have a 4th round pick right now. That first, second, and then those 2/3 got to be impact players.
Yeah. What I'm hoping, and I mean, look, I hope Carson does well in Indy, but I hope they lose every game like 41-38. You know what I mean? So, and he plays all year, and they go 1-15, and we get that high first round pick.
Yeah,
because that's what we need. No doubt about it.
One second, 500. Hold on.
Yeah, no problem. But yeah, so I don't know, guys. That I think Fletcher Cox is going to stay here. Mekhi, I think they're going to stay here. LB didn't have to go. I was about to end that thing anyways, but it's all good. I think Fletcher Cox stays. What do you think about Jason Peters looking to stay? Yeah, I'm sure Peters is looking to stay. He did say that, right? He was on TV or something and said that. I don't want him. I think we got to stay away from him. You know what I mean? Smith will 100% have a better career. This guy only played 8 games, and Smith was the best receiver on national championship level. Obvious pick is Devonta. Hey, I can't argue with you on Devonta Smith. Devonta Smith is one of my favorite guys,
Yeah, my kid definitely just woke up. Daddy duty is calling.
We are going to end this thing. Murda says, I disagree with he quit the guy soft, scared fight for his job. I'm not saying he's scared to fight for his job. I don't think he is either. I just hope that wasn't the case. I want to know more about what happened. I don't think that was the case with Carson. But let me take this second to thank LB for coming on once again. Thank you for everybody for joining us. Thank you for all the likes, the subscriptions, the super chats. Click the link in the description on the way out. Make sure you sub up my man LB. You will not be disappointed. And
Thank
my
you,
man,
I appreciate it. You already know, man. We're gonna do it again real soon, brother.
We're gonna do it again. We're gonna do a roundtable. Like I said, I want to set it up so we got disagreements and arguments going on. I think it'll be beautiful, But
listen, I can't wait.
Yeah, it'll be fun. But thank you, man. I appreciate you coming on. I am going to end this. Oh, we got a quick super chat coming in last second here. Dilly Philly says, LB and 500, if we were to draft Kyle Pitts, can he be DK Metcalf light? I think so. I think he can. I think he can, and maybe in some ways even be more of a mismatch depending upon how they use them. But thank you for the super chat. Thank you, everybody. With that said, I'm going to end the stream now. Take care. I will talk to you later. And, of course, don't be a